Hi everybody, I hope you're doing well and enjoying some time outside. I know the day that I'm filming this, it is beautiful outside, so I hope you're spending time outside in your backyards or your neighborhoods. This week we are continuing with the fruit of the Spirit. We've talked so far about love, joy, and peace, and this week we are talking about patience. Patience is being able to wait calmly to do something even if we want to do it right away. And maybe some of you struggle with patience. I know sometimes I struggle with patience. And like last week when we talked about peace, I think patience is a really good fruit to talk about this week, considering what we're going through right now. A lot of us are at home, or all of us, I guess, we're all at home with our families. Maybe we're spending time outside, but we can't really go anywhere right now. Can't go to school, our moms and dads might not be able to go to work, or maybe they are, but we all are practicing being patient right now. We're waiting to go and see our friends, we're waiting to go back to school, we're waiting to go to the mall, we're waiting to go to a restaurant, even though we want to do it right now. And that's what being patient is. It's waiting to do things calmly, even though we want to do them right away. Patience is also having grace when people make mistakes. Sometimes people do things that we don't really like, and when we're patient with them, we can forgive them easily and have a little grace in our hearts to say, you know what, I know you made a mistake, but I'm going to forgive you. Our verse from the week comes from Ephesians, and Ephesians is in the back of the Bible in the New Testament. So our verse this week is Ephesians 4, verse 2, and I'm going to read that to you. If you want, you can pause the video, grab your Bible, and find it with me. Like I said, it's in the New Testament. So Ephesians 4, 2. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. And I think what's most important about that verse is the in love part. Be patient and be loving with your friends and your family, even though it's a little bit hard sometimes. Our main idea this week is that we can be patient and we can wait cheerfully with God's help. We can always pray and ask God to help us be more patient, even though we want to do things right away. I know it's hard when we just want to go out and play with our friends, but we can ask God to help us be patient during this time and wait for the right time to go see our friends again. Today we have Caroline with us again. I hope you enjoyed her story last week. I know I did. So today Caroline's going to be reading us another story, the story of Abraham and Sarah, and they showed great patience in their lives. So let's welcome Caroline to read us our story today.
Good morning, my friends. How is everybody on this beautiful sunny day? And hope everyone has some plans to get outside and get some fresh air and sunshine in their faces. So we're going to do today's story time. And the story today is taken from the first book of the entire Bible, Genesis. And this story is taken from Genesis verses 12 to 21. And it's called The Son of Laughter. Years passed and things didn't get any better. People were still just as cruel and mean to one another. They still got sick and died. God's world was still full of tears. It was never meant to be like this. But God was getting ready to do something about it. He was going to make all the wrong things right, and he was going to do it all through a family. Abraham, God said, how many stars are there? God was about to tell his friend a wonderful secret. Let me see, Abraham said, rolling up his sleeves. But have you ever tried counting the stars? Then you know how hard it is. 993, 994, 1, 2. Of course, he kept losing count. Too many, he said. Guess what? God laughed. I will give you so many children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren that you won't be able to count them either. Abraham couldn't help giggling at such a wonderful idea, but he stopped himself. How could he have a family? Don't be silly. He didn't have any children, let alone grandchildren. He wiped away a tear. Anyway, it was far too late for him to start having babies at his age. He was 99 years old. What could God mean? Abraham, God said, believe me. And then God told Abraham his secret rescue plan. Abraham, I will make your family very big, God promised, until one day your family will come to number more than even all the stars in the sky. Abraham looked up at the dark night sky, thick with stars. You will be my special family, my people, and through you, everyone on earth will be blessed. It was an incredible promise. God was going to rescue the world through Abraham's family. One of his great-great-great-grandchildren would be the child, the promised one, the rescuer. But it's too wonderful, Abraham said. How can it be true? Is anything too good to be true? God asked him. Is anything too wonderful for me? So Abraham trusted what God said more than what his eyes could see, and he believed. Now, when Abraham's wife Sarah heard God's promise, she just laughed to herself. But it wasn't a happy laugh. It had tears in it. She'd always wanted a baby. Could her dream come true? Could she really have a baby when she was 90 years old? No, of course not. Don't be silly. It was far too late. Sarah didn't believe God could do what he promised. She had forgotten that when God says something, it's as good as done. Of course, it was as easy for God to give her a baby son as it was for him to make all the stars in the sky. Sure enough, 9 months later, just as God had promised, Sarah gave birth to a baby boy. They named him Isaac, which means son of laughter. And Sarah laughed, but this time it was a glorious, happy laugh. Her dream had come true. God would do as he promised. He would always look after Abraham's family, his special people. And one day, God would send another baby, a baby promised to a girl who didn't even have a husband. But this baby would bring laughter to the whole world. This baby would be everyone's dream come true. The end.
Thank you, Caroline, for reading us our story again this week, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little bit about patience from Abraham and Sarah, and that you can put patience into practice this week. This week, I challenge you to write a letter and mail it and ask for a reply, and you can practice patience by waiting for that return letter in the mail.